Welcome to Season 2, Episode 39 of the SNLF podcast. Now, the food guy got himself in a bit of a mess with trying to work out why it's Season 2 and it's Episode 39. Well, it is Season 2, but we're keeping a nice little tally of episodes all along the way. I can't be bothered going back to one because that just sounds stupid.
So but it's not the 39th episode of Season 2, is it? Come on.
Just stick to burgers, mate.
Okay.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. Right, as always, sponsored by New Style Apparel, the hottest new clothing line for the football casual, coming very soon, and hopefully very soon. A full house this evening. My apologies for leaving you with the other three last week, but a Sussex derby was a little bit too much to not miss. Watching Littlehampton and Bognor in front of 979, very decent crowd for a Wednesday evening. Gents, how are we all this evening?
Bit disappointed you're back, mate, to be honest with you.
Mate, I could have gone to Farnborough Worthing tonight. I was quite happy to as well. So next Wednesday, you want to have a go at tying yourself up in knots again, please feel free. Don't you worry.
All right. Yeah, I'm all right.
Mike, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Had a great weekend. Went down to Storrington, Step 7 for their first home game. We'll have a chat about. Great hospitality there, great club. So yeah, I've had a really good week, thanks.
Looks like you got something from Deadpool behind you in the background.
That's a dugout, mate. I was born in a dugout.
The dugout man, the burger man, and lastly, the stat man. How are you, Chris?
I'm all right, so how are you?
Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad. Right, let's crack on then with this evening's show. As always, a special guest with us, and join us from his car as Liam Giles was last week. We're delighted to have with us Moshe from Godalming Town. Mo, how are you?
I'm really well, gents. It feels a bit strange to be on here because I'm looking at what in my world are 4 celebrities. So to be here on the couch with you is a big deal. It's an honour for me to be here with you tonight. So thank you.
We love you, Mo.
You probably just blown the other 3 guys' heads up, but never mind. There we go. I'd noticed when I was doing a little bit of research this evening, as I always do before we get anyone on, just past your 50th game in charge for Godalming, which is a nice little recognition and achievement. What stands out from any of those 50 games off the top of your head?
Which is That's a good question. I suppose your first is always an important one because it was my first as a manager in senior football. Winning the 50th, also nice. Your first is but look, there's loads of nice moments in there, and for me, I'm still, if I'm being honest with you, I'm still in that phase of every game's exciting. For me, being a manager in senior football, there's a real buzz every game I go into. So yeah, maybe a bit cliched, maybe a bit obvious, but the first and the 50th would be two highlights for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I can understand that. Good chance you might hit 100 this year if you have a really good run in like every single cup competition and win the league, or have a couple of extra playoff games again. Came up just a little bit short last year, although at one stage there was a 3-way title race for about 2 games, I think, until the other 2 did actually just pull away there. What was it over this summer that you've looked at that you thought, what do I need to change and tweak just slightly to maybe just get that little bit extra over the line?
Well, I poured extensively through Chris's stats this summer, and it became very apparent that not that it's a secret clearly, but the stats tell it that we just need to score more goals. So, I mean, defensively we were excellent last year, but scoring goals is where we want to really focus on. So, our pre-season has focused on adapting how we play, which perhaps will leave us a little bit more exposed at the back, possibly. But that's something that we're willing to accept if it's going to score us more goals and get us over the line a few more times. I think we drew 10 times last year, which ultimately probably killed us a little bit. So that's a big area of focus for us. But I also think, Trevor, I think it's important to remember we finished 5 points off top. You know, Seaford and Forest Road, two excellent sides, two lots of managers I get on really well with, but we weren't that far away. You know, in the final reckoning, we weren't that far away. And again, Chris, thank you to your stats. If you look at our record against the top 6, we only lost maybe one, maybe two. I think we only lost to Seaford. Right.
Come on, Chris. Straight in on it.
That man, what you got?
I've got the pack in front of me. And yeah, I mean, you won all 3 of your home games against the other top 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't argue with that.
We won at Dorking. We drew at Forest Row. Yeah, so against our fellow top 4 sides, only Seaford beat us. So it's down the bottom, with all due respect to them. You know, Copthorne last year conceded 115 goals in the league, or 114. We scored 1 against them over 2 games. You know, so it's things like that, right? Things like that.
Yeah, just looking through the fixtures, I mean, the teams who beat you last year were Arundel at the start of the season, so before they started motoring.
And that was a close game, a very close game, because I was there.
Yeah. And then it was Storrington, Seaford away, and East Preston. So, yeah, backs up exactly what you're saying, man.
Yeah.
Man knows his stats.
Yeah, yeah, Chris, I love your work. I think you know, stats is a big talking point in non-league, and we've dissected everything we possibly could to try and give us that extra bit of detail. So, and as I'm sure every other manager is and has. So we're in the same boat. And look, we've started okay. We've gone 3 from 3, but there's I feel it's a much more competitive league this year. So I think there'll be lots more twists and turns.
Yeah, we'll certainly come on to those a little bit later when we go through the Division 1 roundup as well. As you said, it's still early in the season. 2 games played, maximum points so far. Are you expecting a similar makeup at the top end of the table as it was last year, or do you think there's going to be a couple of sides that might actually surprise a few people?
That's a great question. Look, a week and a half ago, I would have said to you, East Preston would have started well, and I know Kev will be disappointed with their start. I think they've got a really powerful side, and I expect more from them. I expect them to be in and around it. Selsey will be desperately disappointed with their start. Another side who I thought might be in and around it, but I expect 7 or 8. I think Worthing will be up there. I think Arundel will be up there. Infinity, absolutely. I love the fact that all 3 promoted sides have started strongly. I think that's brilliant for the division and for the league. I think it's really refreshing, and I'm looking forward to coming up against all 3 of those. I think that's fantastic. Look, I think 7 or 8 sides will be thinking about playoffs, and of those, 3 or 4 will be strongly harbouring hopes of coming top of the pile. And look, we're one of them, right? We feel we have a group and a squad that's strong enough. But like I say, I think the division overall is stronger this year, and that's with no disrespect to the teams that we've lost. But I think it is stronger, and I think it's going to require. Chris, another one for you. Actually, I've come on this show tonight to impress you. So the last, Chris, I've got a question for you. Actually, the last 2 times this division was a 34-game league, it was won by the same club. Can you tell me how many points it was won by on either occasion?
No, I'll be blunt. I can get back to you on that, but no, you've blown me out of the water straight away there.
It was won by Roffey on both occasions with 75 and 79 points. So I think that gives you a good indication of where the champions will want to be to win the league this year.
Mo, do you want a job as stat man on the pod?
I've been usurped.
Mike?
But, look, all managers will be looking at stuff like this. And when it was announced that it was a 34 team, you want a barometer, right? And straight away I looked at, right, when was the last? It was the year before last, it was a 34 team league, and 2 years before that. And yes, so between 75 and 79, I think gets you where you want to be. But that's, probably 23, 24 wins, which is going to be tough. So I think that's where we're at.
Go on, Mike.
Mo, how you doing, pal?
Mike, how are you, sir?
Good. I don't want to talk about your team. I want to talk about you, and I want to talk about the people behind your club in there. I came down to you last season when I was with Arundel, and I must say, I had the people behind the bar were so hospitable to us and put on such great hospitality. It was fantastic. No one could do enough for us behind the scenes when you went there. Okay, your pitch is a bit of a leveler, so I won't do all that. Yeah, but I thought they were fantastic. Please pass on my best to them. They're a wonderful group there. And you yourself, you seem to be a manager that nobody has a bad word to say about. You conduct yourself absolutely first class on the sideline. You're respected by everyone, home and away, and even the players. So I just want to say you're doing an effing great job, mate. And I thought you were very, very unlucky last year not to go up. Good luck this year, pal.
No, look, Mike, I thank you. They're very humbling words. I think give me another 50 games and I'm sure I'll get myself unliked, I'm sure. But no, like I said at the start, for me, it genuinely is humbling. To get a role at a club like this, Godalming Town were at, step 4, 8, 9, 10 years ago, right? So a big club in this in the Surrey neck of the woods, if you like. And Mike, you make a great point. No club, and I watch you guys every week, right? I listen in every week, and last year too. And it's a common theme when you get managers and coaches and other personnel on. All the best clubs have brilliant people behind them. That's a no-brainer, and we at Godalming are really lucky to have individuals across the entirety of a club that love the football club, love where we are in the community, love what we're trying to do on and off the pitch. And I'm very lucky that I have this seat in amongst it all where I get to see the best of both. And Mike, I remember our chat. I think it was before the game when you came down to ours, and I said to you,
didn't I have to hand you team of the week, and you battered us about 4 or 5-1?
Well, unfortunately, for you it was that day. But I remember saying to you that day, victory is often, it's an imposter, right? Whether you win or whether you lose or whether you draw, it doesn't stop you as a team and as an individual. And I'm big on this with my team. I'm so big on it with them. Is you do it with dignity and you do it with style, right? And that's been drilled into me from a young age. I stand by it, and we'll never change from that while I'm here. So that's big for us, and some of the guys you've had on here, and I've got a lot of time for, Wisey at Seaford. We had some great battles. Top bloke, Grant at Forest Road, Craigie Stewart at Arundel. We had some great battles. There are some absolute gentlemen in this league. What happens in the 90 minutes happens in the 90 minutes, but you always have a drink after and you get on with it. So that's big for me.
Yeah, keep doing your thing, Mo.
Thank you.
Chris, remind me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was something like a 20-match unbeaten run that really pushed Godalming towards that top 3 by the end of the season.
No, you're spot on. I think they lost like 2 of the last 29 games or something. I think.
Wow.
After something like it was a slow start, but I think afterwards you had from about late October, you actually had the best record in the league. Ahead of the likes of Forest Row and Seaford. Was there anything in particular, Mo, that you guys did or you did behind the scenes or the team did that kind of spurred that on? Because it's not like you were playing poorly beforehand, but it just seemed it's like a switch was flicked.
That's a great question, and I would pinpoint it to 2 things. So in and around, in fact, it was in October. The game that turned it for us was we won 2-1 at East Preston on Groundhopper weekend, actually, and from there I think we just went on a brilliant run. So one, we brought in around that time 3 or 4 players who tipped the balance for us massively. And I think the other thing that was huge for us, we just settled into socially and culturally. We settled into this group that, like I mentioned, it's such a happy group to be around. And as a coach, as a manager, whatever you want to call it, my job was a joy. You've got 20 lads who who are all battling for each other. And I often say to the boys, you've got a good group when people are more interested in others' success rather than their own. And that's what we had at the end of the year. We had boys batting for others, which is, I think, quite rare in non-league. And that spun us through. We cultivated that over the summer. And that's what we're trying to go with again this year.
Sounds good. And is it broadly the same group you've got this year, as opposed to, like, I know a lot of clubs have a lot of turnover, but have you managed to keep the core of it together?
So we're running with a first team squad of 21 this year, and of that 21, 18 are from last year, and we've got 3 new additions. So yeah, pretty settled group.
Yeah, because I'm a big believer in carrying momentum forward, and I know you went out on penalties in the playoffs last year, but the way you ended the season was unreal, absolutely unreal. So
yeah, I mean, funny enough, I'm in the car now. We're training shortly, and all the boys are filing past, giving me all sorts of signs and body language. So you can tell it's a comfortable group when they're comfortable to do that to their manager sat in his car. So yeah, we have a very settled group. We're lucky. But look, Chris, it's another good point, right? And here's another stat challenge for you. I'd love to know the percentage of change in squads this year. Maybe that's one to look at. And also, we've also looked at, if you look at the teams that have gone up from Step 6, this division, in the last 4 or 5 years, again, I think I'm right in saying every team that's gone up the year before, they were in the playoffs.
Oh.
Right?
Right.
There's something in the water about continuity.
Completely agree. Well, I mean, Crowborough are another example, a step higher. They got in the playoffs the season before and then went up last year. So
yeah, you see it all the time. Seaford did it. Epsom did it. There's another one in there somewhere as well. Maybe Midhurst or Shoreham, one of them. So it happens often. And look, I'd like to think that we made the playoffs last year. Could we go one better this year? That's what we're going to try and do.
Gaz?
I'll be honest with you. I don't know any of the questions that have been asked because my baby just decided to start screaming. Mo, what's your burger like up at Godalming? That's the only thing I know. Probably won't have been asked.
I'm not going to reveal how it is, Gaz, because you need to come down and try it yourself.
Okay.
Good response. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay.
Gaz,
yeah. No, that's fine.
Gaz, look, when you come, it's on me. Let you know when you come. I'll buy you a beer. I'll have the burger with you, and we can go from there. So it's on me. I'll sort you out.
All right. No worries. Yeah. I'll have to book it in a calendar. I mean, Trevor will vouch. My calendar's booked up like weeks in advance, but I'll get something in and I'll give you a shout. It's not
for football related things anyway.
No, I have to fit that around everything else, Mo, just one that I probably hasn't been asked, but what inspired you to go into football management? I like to ask this one because everyone has a different story. And who inspired you?
Wow, that's a great question. So, what inspired me to go into football management? So, I was a really good bang average player. That's how I describe myself. And I had a bit of rejection when I was at university from getting into one of the squads, and it all stemmed from there, right? And I was that kind of sad guy that didn't want to give it up, so I started coaching and got involved. Yeah. And then as I got on, that was 15, 16 years ago, as I got on and I ventured a little bit higher, there's one thing that particularly intrigued me as I got more and more understanding of non-league, and that was that this could be done in a different way. This doesn't have to be done with thousands of pounds. This doesn't have to be done with a different 16 every week. This doesn't have to be done by being ever present on social media, which there's a space for that. Absolutely, there's a space for all of those things in non-league. But I wanted to know if it could be done by two things, and this is what drives me. This is what drives me and how I look after my group of players, is understanding their why. So why they're doing, why they're here, why they're doing it. Can I tap into that?
Yeah.
And understanding the emotion that drives them. And I've always been interested in psychology. I've always been interested in understanding how especially young people work and develop. And I wanted to take that into football and see if I could marry the two. And that is my approach. That is my approach to football management. And I'm a very good average coach. But I think
he's gone training.
Do you say he's an average coach? I think he's an excellent coach. I think the way he sets his teams up tactically, he does the research and everything like that. I think he's absolutely top draw. And seeing some of the comments come through from, especially two of the guys, Wisey and Big Grant out there, that both went up and have both come in really complimentary of what he's done. It just goes to show, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
And more specifically,
doesn't know how to work a phone at the moment, which is a concern. Maybe that's why he only got 3 players in this year. Do you know? Here he is. He's back.
Oh, no,
And he's gone again.
that went
maybe he had a ball through the window.
Yeah.
One of those 3 players he brought in obviously isn't quite aligned yet with where the goalposts are.
He did say they need to score more goals, so
yeah. Yeah.
Just want to point out, Grant Hearn said that the league, where the year before they went up, they finished 3rd from bottom.
Now he's like Doctor Who from the TARDIS. Going to regenerate and come back as Grant Hearn or Paul Wise, isn't he?
Here he is.
Last week we had Gilesy as a Dalek, and now we've got
Mo, you back?
No.
So this is the whole problem with going live.
It's not a problem, mate.
It's
not a problem.
Not a problem. I should have. I could have cut out most of last week when I was listening to it with old Dalek man. You back, Mo?
Hello.
This is quite comical, actually.
Are you there?
sorry guys, I lost you there.
Someone kick a ball through your window.
No, it was one of the players winding me up, so I just had to. Yeah. Sorry.
He's on the bench on Saturday, then.
Yeah, he's just been told that. So apologies. Dad.
I can't remember where we're at, but
he was halfway through, or most of the worry over Mo's back. I think it's most of the way or part of the way through your question, guys.
yeah.
Your question, Gaz, your question was why I do it, and I gave a very philosophical answer about me being the best average guy at everything. But it's a good question.
So I've just got to go back to it. I don't know if you saw it, but Grant Hearn said when they went up, they finished 3rd from bottom previous season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll text Grant after this, but I refer Grant to the fact that I didn't mention Forest Row in my stats, so that's why I didn't mention it.
That's it from me.
They've both come out with nice things for you, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the comments, Mo.
I saw. Look, Grant's a great. I spoke to him last night. He's done it. Him, and is it Andy? The other, like, they've done a brilliant job, and that's where we aspire to be. And why is he saying why is he? What a bloke! I get on really well with all of those guys, and they're both they're both doing great things, right? So yeah, that's where we want to be, and hopefully we'll see him next year in the Prem. Yeah,
I hope so too.
Friday night football for you this week, Mo. The FA Vars kicking off at the weekend, but you've got Friday evening away at Copthorne. Are you one of those guys that prefers to play teams you know something about, or at least a little about, or are you one of those that prefers the little bit of the unknown and going to somewhere you've never been before and seeing what they've got and what they do?
Another really good question. In this competition, I would have loved to have drawn a team from another league. I would have loved to have drawn an unknown. So yeah, in the Vars, definitely, I'd have. Yeah, it's totally unheard of. Would have been great. But look, we've got Copthorne. We watched them last night, so we know a little bit about them. funny enough, and it's always the way in football. We've got them on Friday in the bars. We've got them on Monday in the league. It happens so often, right? And then a week later on Tuesday night, we've got them in the Peter Bentley Cup. And then in the Division 1 Cup, if we beat Dorking at home, we've got Copthorne at home in the second round. So we could end up playing them 5 times this year.
Wow.
So I would have loved to have played a random, but it is what it is. And one of our targets this year, actually, one of our targets as a club is to try and get into the first round proper. So, Copthorne on a Friday, great occasion. They'll be up for it. We're up for it. And then it's little common, I think, for the winners in the next round. So, let's give it a crack. That's where we want to be. We want to be in the first round. Love to get a big club in the first round, but we've got to get through Copthorne on Friday.
Absolutely. Mo, thank you very much for joining us. Get yourself off to training. Best of luck for the rest of the season and good luck on Friday evening.
Thanks, gents.
Cheers,
Mo.
mate.
All the best, mate.
Bye.
What a nice guy Mo is, isn't he?
Yeah,
He is.
really nice.
Very nice.
And tactically as well, he's very astute. He knows what he's doing. He does the research on the team. When we went and played away after beating them, won the first games of the season last year when I was with Arundel, they absolutely tactically destroyed us. Yeah.
I mean, to have a defensive record quite that good at this level is quite rare. But I mean, they managed to not concede, or they conceded fewer than a goal or less than a goal a game, both home and away last year. Which again, to do that and not go up, that's even rarer. So no, good on them.
All right.
Absolutely right. Let's crack on. FA Cup first. Preliminary round last weekend for our sides, and results were Crowborough Athletic 0, Deal Town 1, Bexhill United 0, Rains Part of Vale 3, Lancing 3, Harefield United 0, Sheppey United 9, Eastbourne United 0, Seaford Town 0, AFC Whiteleaf 2, Three Bridges 4, Horsham YM 1, Hassocks 0, Beckenham Town 1, Stenning Town 2, Hendon 1, and Hastings United 1, Harrow Borough 0. Then on Sunday it finished Hackney Wick 3, Bognor Regis 1, and Littlehampton Town 3, North Greenford United 0. On Monday, the draw for the first qualifying round was made. Chichester City head to Havant and Waterlooville. Stenning Town host Lancing. Hastings United head to Faversham Town. Wokingham Town against Burgess Hill Town. Bedfont Sports against Littlehampton Town. Three Bridges host Walton and Hersham. Flackwell Heath against Lewis. And Hayes and Yedding against Whitehawk. Ties to be played on Saturday, the 30th of August. What sticks out for anyone from the results or the nice little first round draw?
Well, I'm looking forward to that Stenning Lancing one after that game last night. Was it a 4-3 in the end? And can I just point out as well, I do want to quickly say something on Lancing, if that's okay, Trev. And I know it's part of your schedule. I did a bit of a controversial podcast with regarding that club, a couple of them, over the last few months that caused a bit of a scene, especially with players being owed money. Yeah, can I put on the record now and say that I've spoke with all the chairman, the new chairman, not the other geezer. I've spoke with Mr. Gander, I spoke with Dean Cox, and the players have been paid the money that they were owed. Now, the club went out and paid it. So I just want to put that on the record for anyone that says that's true. So there. Anyway, sorry, but I did say
no, that's fine. Yeah, you did. Right to put it out there. Anyone else?
I think Chichester versus Havant and Waterlooville sticks out for me. I think that's a big game based.
Local-ish.
Yeah, nice and local-ish. That's probably closer to Chichester than some of the games that they have against teams in Sussex in that league.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. And I think obviously Havant and Waterlooville have had a troubled few years. Turbulent few years. And I think that's a game that Chai can absolutely go there and win, to be honest with you. And I can't remember the rest of the draw, but that was the one that stuck out for me. So that's the one that I remembered.
I'll give Stenning a shout. Coming from behind at home to was it Hendon they beat, I think. Coming from behind, who are I think are they step up on Stenning? I think they're still step 4, Hendon.
Step 4, yeah.
Yeah. So mad props to them for getting that one, because that won't have been easy. And yeah, that will be an entertaining game against Lancing if last night was anything to go by.
Yeah, it certainly will be. I was at Littlehampton on Sunday. Should have beaten North Greenford by a more comfortable score. Should have been about 3 or 4 up in the first half before they actually did score. North Greenford a step 5. But they ran out of steam second half. Great start for Littlehampton. Wins from 4 so far. Yeah, Chris?
I was going to give Lee a shout. He said last week that Lancing would have a good shout against Harefield, who'd I think they'd lost their previous game 9-0. And he said that he fancied Lancing for that. So he got that one right. Well done, Lee. Yeah,
well, Harefield knocked out Peacehaven in the round previous after a replay. So and they've played quite a few of our sides over the last couple of years as well. So not a bad side. So decent result for Lance. The 2 ties stick out for me, other than Gaz and Mike picking out the 2 they have. Faversham against Hastings. Hastings have actually started better than I thought they would, but that'll be a tough one going to Faversham. Good budget, good manager, good side they've got over there. And Three Bridges against Walton and Hersham as well. Walton and Hersham, really good side. Jamie Crellin's lot won't find it too easy there, but they've started really well as well. That should be quite an intriguing game. So hopefully we're having at least we've got 1 through definitely to the second qualifying round, but hopefully we'll have a few more heading that way as well. One thing I wanted to ask all of you quickly as well was we haven't got to the end of August yet, and the FA VAR starts this weekend, the trophy as well, not for too many of our sides in the trophy, but the first month of the season is going to finish a week on Saturday, and by then you could be out of both FA competitions before we've even got into the second month of the season. Is there a little bit of a thought that maybe it could be spread out a little bit more? I mean, I think 3 rounds of the FA Cup is too excessive in 1 month of a season, considering they'll play probably once, maybe twice next month. And of course, as well, you lose that midweek after an FA Cup week because there's a potential chance of a replay. I know a lot of leagues are clever and don't schedule in there, but does the Vars and Trophy need to be starting now? Go on, guys.
I think it's smart. If you look at some of the clubs for the last few seasons, the amount of games they've had to play in the last 4, 6, 7 weeks of the season, because so many games are called off, I think it's smart that maybe it frees up some weeks. Obviously, they're never going to go all the way in the tournament, but there'll be times where there could be an FA Cup weekend, for example, and they're not in the FA Cup, or they're playing in the FA Cup, but now that they're not because the game's all done. It made much more sense in my head than it did coming out, but I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Is there's been such a fixture congestion towards the end of the season for a lot of clubs over the last few years that can't get games on sort of over the winter months, that I think it's a smart decision, because that will probably free up a little bit more, play a few less games, and have the gaps in the to play the games.
Okay, let me flip that back the other way then. Sorry, just before you jump in, Mike, let me flip that back the other way, Gaz, right? The first weekend of the season was an FA Cup game.
Yeah.
So no league scheduled midweek games because potential for FA Cup replays. So if they'd have delayed that by 1 week, you'd have had league game on the Saturday, a league game on the Tuesday. You're already 2 games up. Whereas when you actually started on the 9th of August, you're potentially 3 games behind.
Yeah. Well, now I look like a Wally. Thanks, Trev.
Well, no.
But no, I completely see both sides of it. But look, we know that fixture planning is an absolute minefield. And I don't envy whoever the person is that has to do it. But ultimately, I think it will benefit some clubs. I'm going to give you 2 clubs in particular that would benefit if they're out of both by the end of it. Is Uckfield and Arundel. I think both teams struggle to get games on over the winter, and it might just mean they can get a few more league games in before that happens.
I could make you look like a tit though, because neither of those 2 are in the FA Cup. So
Right. Yeah, but
with
they're in the FA
replays.
Vars, right? They're in
Yeah,
the
but
FA Vars.
Vars have no replays though. That doesn't
Well,
it negotiates
okay. Well,
the
you
league
could
a
make
bit
me look like a tit, and then do you know what? You just went and made me look like a tit.
That's what you
But
get
look,
for knowing me
I
for so long.
think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, there is no right or wrong answer. It's like, you know, I mean,
Well, there was apparently.
there isn't.
To be honest, me and Trev never really agree on anything, and I actually agree with Trev this time in here. The only difference is it just feels harsh. Like we went and watched Seaford's first game that was FA Cup, wasn't it? The first game of the season. It seems harsh being the first game, one of your qualifying rounds, but it is what it is, and they got to deal with it. You know, it is.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm uneducated on this as can be, really. So I've got nothing further to add that can, that's going to develop the conversation.
No, that's fine. Like I say, there is no right or wrong answer to it. It's just that if you look at it from whatever different angle you actually look at it from, and I appreciate what you said, Gaz, about Uckfield and Arundel not being able to play many games later on in the year. But looking at it then, the only section they would be in if they were in the FA Cup as well potentially is going to be going deep in the Vars, and then you're talking one round a month because you're that far into the competition as well. But it may be because there's the extra Saturday in this month is the only reason why we've got 3 rounds in. But I'm just thinking from a financial point of view as well. If you're out of both FA competitions before you've got to the end of August, and I know no club that I know of budgets for it, you just haven't got that potential for the extra income that may go another week, and then and as well, your players have had another week as well, so you may go another round or another 2. Just like, I'm looking out for our clubs, not for the FA and their planning incapabilities. But
maybe if the league had got themselves sorted and got the game started a little the midweek before, like all the other most of the other leagues did, then it wouldn't have been the first game of the season.
Yeah, potentially.
Fair point.
Although, just to not defend the SFL, but it was the same in the Isthmian as well. Like Town's 3rd game of the season was their season opener.
Yeah,
so
the Isthmian always will be, because you're that much level higher. When you're down at steps 5 and 6, you have got that ability to be able to put that game in. You're never going to get that at the Isthmian. You're never going to get it in the National League. You're get it Southern League or Northern League. That, unfortunately, is what it is. Right, let's move on to the National League South and results for our guys at the weekend. Eastbourne Borough 1, Hornchurch 2, Horsham 3, Worthing 4. Then last night, Horsham picked up their first point in a 0-0 draw at Chesham, and Eastbourne Borough went down 1-0 at home to Dover Athletic. Worthing are playing Farnborough this evening, and Chris has a score update of 0-0 at the moment, about half an hour in. Another tough one for them this evening. Bit of a tough start for 2 of our sides in Horsham and Eastbourne at the moment. Horsham happy probably to get a point on the board and a clean sheet last night at Chesham. And as we spoke to Matt Gray 2 weeks ago, we know Eastbourne are a little bit behind the pace at the moment, so I'd expect them to pick up over the next couple of weeks. But we know this division is going to be carnage, and it's already looking a bit like that, with sides in the top 7 that I put to be in the bottom 4. So it's one of those. How do you pick it?
It's a marathon and it's not a sprint, and like I don't think any of those. I don't think Eastbourne Borough, for example, will be in and around the bottom of the league come the end of the season.
No.
So I still think it's too early to tell. But what I am going to pick out is obviously Horsham only picked up their first point at the week last night, but they got 3 against one of the teams that are fancied in playoffs, if not promotion this season. They scored 3 goals. They didn't get a point. They scored 3 goals. Now, if they can do that against the teams like Worthing, there are teams in that league which I think might underestimate Horsham a little bit this season. And Horsham will be all right, in my opinion. And I think we've discussed it once already, but they got 3 goals against Worthing. They went 2-0 up against Worthing. And I think they'll be all right. I just give them credit because they run Worthing close on Saturday. And
they ran Chelmsford close, let's not forget as well, and they're not a bad side at all.
Yeah, they've spent a lot of money this year, Chelmsford, haven't they? So But no, I just want to give credit to Horsham because, because I do.
Agree. No, I saw some pretty ridiculous comments on the Facebook comment sections, and let's be fair, no one ever goes there for reason, so maybe shouldn't be too surprised. But some of the comments I was seeing were mental, saying, "No, you're going down" and all this. Hang on a minute, let's see. Again, it's the same point I made last week. Who have they played and how have they done? They ran Chelmsford very close in front of 1,500. They ran Worthing very close in a real ding-dong game, and they got the first point on the board away from home last night to a Chesham side who I don't think. I mean, last season they certainly weren't in any danger of relegation, so no, I think they've started just fine.
Yeah. I think the one thing it does show though is that when you make mistakes, and it's the same when you move up any level, you do get punished, and there's not going to be often this season where you can let a 2-goal lead slip and actually go and win the game. So that's probably given them a bit of an eye opener. And again, as you said, Gaz, they've had two of the sides are expected to be in and around that top 7 as well. Doesn't get any easier for them this Saturday though, as they host Torquay United, who are my favourite in the league. So let's get the bad ones out of the way. Eastbourne Borough head to Bath City, and Worthing are at home to Enfield Town. On Bank Holiday Monday, Worthing are heading off to Chippenham Town, Eastbourne Borough at home to Slough Town, and Horsham head to Maidenhead United. So a weekend potential to pick up 6 points for anybody.
Do we know why the game at Horsham versus Worthing isn't being played on Bank Holiday Monday, and both teams are travelling to Chippenham and Maidenhead? Do we know why that happened?
That's a fair shout.
I would imagine the first port of call for a derby in that division for Horsham is Dorking, not Worthing.
That's probably a fair shout.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember because I haven't looked at the fixtures in a long while, but the National League last year, with Christmas and Easter, they made the games alternate. So you didn't play the same team twice. So i.e. Horsham Dorking wouldn't be Boxing Day and then New Year's Day. So it'd be one and then the other one would be Easter. So they swapped it around, which was a brilliant idea because if there's any needle in the first game, it carries over to the second one. You've got suspensions going into January when you don't need them. So it's actually quite a clever and a different thing to do for supporters as well. Although, and again, you've got that A24 line between Dorking, Horsham in the middle, and then Worthing. 3 into 2 doesn't go when you're trying to pick games as well. So there will be a little bit of geography in it, a little bit not. Why it was on August the 16th, as you say, and not Monday the 25th of August. Ask the National League South planners because I ain't got a clue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a look at it, right? So Horsham have got on Boxing Day they got Dorking away, which you'd expect, and then they've got Farnborough at home on the 30th, and then they're away to Maidenhead on the 3rd of Jan.
Away to Maidenhead? They're away to Maidenhead on.
They're playing them on Monday, aren't they?
Yeah,
maybe they're at home to Maidenhead, but it says Maidenhead on the 3rd of Jan, 2026.
Yeah, they're playing Bank Holiday Monday. They're playing Maidenhead away.
Okay, well,
there you go.
Google's done me wrong there.
I mean, to be fair, the travelling for those Farnborough's not too bad. Maidenhead isn't terribly bad. If you got Western Supermare on Boxing Day, it would maybe not be too pleasant, but how it goes, isn't it? Right, let's get into the Isthmian League Premier Division and results last week. Burgess Hill drew 3-3 at Averley on Friday night. Chichester won 2-1 at #United. Lewis won by a goal to 0 at Welling United, and Whitehawk beat Cray Valley Paper Mill by 3-2. On Saturday, Burgess Hill Town head to Brentford. Chichester host Welling United. Lewis are at home to Potters Bar Town, and Whitehawk head to Wingate and Finchley. Then on Monday, Chichester head to Carshalton Athletic. Lewis are at home to Burgess Hill, and Whitehawk are at home to Dulwich. Back-to-back wins for Lewis after an opening day defeat, and Burgess Hill still unbeaten, but possibly should be on 9 points instead of 7. Not looking too bad for at least 2 or 3 of our sides in that division.
No, very good 2 away wins for Lewis as well, no less. So all the better. And Burgess Hill, all their games have been away from home yet so far, and they're sitting pretty in 5th. So cracking start to life at step 3.
Yeah, I think for Burgess Hill, I'd say if they can mirror what Worthing did last year when they played away for their first 6 games of the season, picked up 10 or 11 points, that'll give them a good base. And then if they perform like Three Bridges and Peacehaven did when they got back home again, then good chance they can be in and around the mix, aren't they?
They're a club going places, they are, Burgess Hill, over the next couple of years, without a doubt, with the investment they've got now.
They have got
definitely going places at the moment because they can't play at home. It's weird that Dulwich Hamlet are doing so well. I mean, I know Toby Bull, ex of Lewis, has gone there and hasn't conceded a goal by the look of things.
That's because he's the best goalkeeper in the league.
Well, quite.
We say that because he's coming in the dugout very, very shortly.
Ah, okay. Well, I remember him on the show last year as well. But yeah, I mean, 3 wins from 3, and they were they were not rated by the bookies at all. So
I'd say I'm not surprised.
I'm sorry?
I'd say I'm not surprised.
Oh,
I'm not overly either. I think I agree with Trev. They're a sleeping giant. Like they, in my opinion, looking through it, they are the biggest team in that league by a long way. They're probably 2 divisions lower than they should be, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. And you look at the Gates to get a Champion Hill. They do very, very well, but they did nearly go down last year, I guess. That was why I don't know how much player turnover there's been in that, but when I saw
wasn't so much player turnover, more bad choice of management. Simple as that. And the guy that got in this year probably actually needs this one to go really well. He's done reasonably well in the past where he's been, especially last year at Rains Park Vale. Went in there late and reeled off something like 12 wins in a row, just out of nowhere. But he's kept Danny Mills and Luke Wanadeo, who are firing. Wanadeo's firing already this season. He's got Anthony Cook, who I know very well from Cray and Bromley days. He's got a contact book of players the size of anything. And as I say, we've got Toby in goal, who we know is a decent goalkeeper as well. So you start getting the right component parts, you get the right person in the dugout as well, then you end up at the right end of the table. So I'm not surprised they're doing well. Whether they maintain it is another question, but it's only 3 games in,
True.
40 odd to go or whatever it is, however many to play. Right, let's head into the FA Vars, which starts this weekend for our clubs before we get onto the rest of the Isthmian League. And as we mentioned, Mo's Godalming Town go to Copthorne on Friday evening. On Saturday, it's Mile Oak against Lewisham Borough Community. Oakwood at home to Punjab. Arundel against Stenning Town. Forest Row hosts Westside. Ringmore AFC are hosting Tooting and Mitcham United. Eastbourne United travel to Loxwood. Worthing United at home to Tooting Beck. Shoreham travel to Knaphill. Larkfield and New Hythe are at home to Peacehaven and Telscombe. It's East Preston against Haywards Heath Town. Lingfield against Seaford, which is, of course, at Stenning. Bexhill against Guernsey, which is a 2 p.m. kickoff at Hastings United. Saltdean are at home to FC Elmstead, which is at Newhaven. Lancing travel to Phoenix Sports. Wick host Welling Town. Pagham are at home to Newport Isle of Wight. And Selzy are at home to Ringwood. Then on Sunday, Newhaven travel to AFC Walcountians. Mike, you have an FA Vars away day on Saturday, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I've managed to blag a seat on the bus with Shoreham FC. They are going away to Knaphill. Thanks to the chairman, Stuart, there for doing that, and Low Edwards for sorting that out. So yeah, my travels going behind the scenes in clubs continues now. So yeah, we're on the bus, and we're going to get some footage on there before, during, and after. Hopefully get a win, because I'm sure as fights go, it will get messy.
Where is Knaphill, Mike?
Well, it's north of Worthing, isn't it?
You can't fault the logic. You can't fault the logic.
What did I tell you less than 24 hours ago?
It's Woking way, isn't it? Apparently, yeah. I thought it was go up by Buck Barn and turn off, and no, but that's Noel's farm, not
that's
Knaphill.
Billingshurst or Fisher's Farm.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good day. I don't know anything about Knaphill, to be fair.
Decent side in the combined counties.
Are they?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. But there'll be some crazy footage for the over 18s, let's say.
The over 18s.
I used to have a decent looking burger at Nap Hill.
Did I?
Yeah, I saw it. I remember seeing it a while back. I mean, it doesn't look that great now when I look at it back. I'll find a picture.
If I've got an appetite, mate, I will do a burger review if I've got an appetite. Yeah.
If you listen to the podcast version, Gaz was almost salivating over that burger picture that we could see of him on the screen. So that is how much he loves burgers. Anything stand out from Gaz or Chris and the rest of the ties?
I mean, just looking at the fixtures now, I mean, it'll be a good test for Bexhill at Guernsey. It's a shame they can't play at home, but that'll be a good test for them. Gaz and I, well, I'm sure we'll come on to it in a bit. We were at Ringmer last night. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on against Tooting and Mitcham, who are a pretty big side at this level.
I think for me, Arundel versus Stennon as well was one that.
Well, is that what they got, is it?
Yeah.
Great.
And Oakwood versus Punjab. Punjab, obviously, aside from the southeast, who are very well known, and they always seem to do quite well from memory.
Cool.
So, Trev, is there any that stick out for you?
Probably Ringmer hosting Tooting and Mitcham in their first FA Vars game. Obviously, Tooting have got quite a rich history, but more in the FA Cup rather than the Vars itself. Arundel, Stenning again, both had good results during the week. Be interesting to see how Peacehaven get on at Larkfield. The reasonably decent side over there as well. And New Haven going to Walcountians on Sunday, I think might be a really good matchup.
Good game, that one.
As well. Yeah, could go either way, that one, couldn't it? Really good.
If we're calling shocks, Lockswood versus Eastbourne United as well is a potential for a shock, I think.
Up for Lockswood on Tuesday night as well. Right, into the Isthmian South East Division. Only one game last weekend due to the FA Cup games, and it finished Broadbridge Heath 0, Herne Bay 0. On Saturday, the FA Trophy also begins because they mirror the FA Vars rounds all the way through. 2 games for our sides. Hassocks head to Sheppey United and Three Bridges head to Marlow. Then in the South East Division, Eastbourne Town host Beckenham Town, Sevenoaks are at home to Crowborough Athletic, and East Grinstead Town head to Sittingbourne. Then on Monday, Three Bridges head to Broadbridge Heath, Crowborough Athletic are at home to Hastings United, East Grinstead Town are at home to Sevenoaks Town, Hassocks are at home to Eastbourne Town. So not much going on in their division because nobody played. So we'll move on swiftly to the Isthmian South Central. Again, no games for our 2 sides in that because they were both in FA Cup action. On Saturday, Bognor Regis Town head to Harrow Borough and Littlehampton are also on the road to Leatherhead. Then on Monday, Bognor Regis are away again to Horndean. And on Tuesday evening, Littlehampton Town host Fareham Town. I did mention earlier, obviously, Littlehampton had a really good start to the season there. And I know, Mike, you had Mitch on the dugout last week, which is a really good listen as well. Bognor as well has been a little bit on the downward spiral, and obviously announced yesterday, I think it was, or this morning, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? Michael Birmingham stepped away from Bognor for personal reasons. So Jamie Howe's got the reins completely. Do you think there's a little bit too much expectation on Bognor, considering it's a real brand new side, bar about 2 players left from last year?
No, not because of the size of the club, the size of the fan base. You know, they've obviously had some tough years in coming. You know, we said about the problems they had last year. Last year they had 5 or 6 of their top players sitting in the stands, weren't they? Sitting on contracts in there now. It's a shame that Mike left. Bit of a shock to us last night, wasn't it? To be fair. Who is a really good, great guy, you know, sort of guy that you get you fired up and you work for him. But I'm absolutely sure Jamie Howe will get the results out of the boys and start turning it around. You know, we're 3 weeks into August, aren't we? And you know, everyone can have a poor start and kick on. So I've got no problems there. I'll turn around, but it's a club like that need to be up another level at least. Simple as that. With their fan base, you know, they have to be.
Yeah,
Anyone else?
I agree. I didn't read about the personal reasons, so I'd come up with my own little reason for him leaving in my head. I thought he might, because it said that he's going to stay on till the end of the month, didn't it? And they're playing Horndean on the 25th of August. So I thought maybe he's going back to Horndean, but won't go until after the game with Bognor, out of respect to Bognor. But if it said personal reasons, that was just that's just where my brain went to be honest with you. I don't know whether Horndean have got a settled manager or anything like that, so I'm not creating any trouble for anyone. But that was just where my brain went to. But that's because I'm fickle.
He's worse mainstream media, isn't he? Go on, Chris.
If I can come in on a completely uneducated note, I don't.
Well, Gaz does. So yeah, carry on.
As might be obvious to anybody who's listened to this more than once, I'm not from around these parts, and I've only ever been to Bognor once. So, and not as everyone says they're a big club. I have no doubt that the three of you are right on that. But to me, I don't know them. So in terms of our expectations, looking at how last season went, they're playing away from home again at the moment because they're having the pitch done. Now, I mean, that game against Portchester looked like a great ding-dong and they did well to come out on top in the end. And then they've lost to a decent Littlehampton side. Is it a bit soon for knee-jerky reactions? I don't know. It just, again, nothing's ever settled at this time of year, but it doesn't look like on the face of what I can see that there's any real disaster going on at Bognor.
I agree. I don't think there is.
But again, I must reiterate to anybody listening from West Sussex, I will happily admit to not knowing what I'm on about when it comes to Bognor.
Stick to your stats.
Facts speak for themselves.
Right, into Southern Combination Premier Division.
Are you not going to mention them about Littlehampton, how well they've been doing?
Were you not listening like 2 minutes ago before Gaz went on his little spin of whatever? I did say, and I've said it twice, they've had a fantastic start to the season. I've seen them play twice out of their 4 games as well. I think what they've done this summer is, I say, a lot better. When you look at last year, the players they brought in last year actually should have got them higher up the league than where they were in the first few games as well. How well they're faring the South Central and Bognor as well, because in all honesty, both of them are unknown quantities to every side in that league. But
Mitch said that. He said he didn't.
But
didn't
about 3 months in, that will change because people will get a bit wise. So when I looked at the side on where was it, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday against North Greenford. At the back, it's a young back 4. You know, whether they're going to get really bullied against sides like Harrow Borough, Hayes and Yedding, when those northwest and West London sides do come down. I don't know. Maybe the complete opposite. Maybe that, and I think actually I was really impressed with Louis Puttock, who scored the opening goal on Sunday. Had 2 good games in the 2 games I've seen as well. Kyle O'Brien, I know plenty about. And Tejum was really good in both games. Well, possibly the Sunday game, he didn't get into it as much as he normally would, not as he did against Bognor. And he popped up with a goal at the end, which was very well taken as well. Go on.
What about that Marcel?
Marcel played, I think
he's a player, that lad.
Again, they didn't really get the ball out to him second half against Greenford. First half, had the beating of his fullback. Got a lot of pace. As Mitch said, he is concerned about whether he can last the season amount of games with his injuries. If he stays injury free, perfect. George was on the bench Sunday. I don't think he was fit to actually come on or play, or he really wanted to. So maybe they still need another guy up front. He's been playing out wide though.
Has he?
Wide, yeah, he came in wide right on Wednesday against Bognor. On Sunday, he started off there and then went a little bit more central. So whether they just need another one on top of, again, I know George loves playing and George loves scoring goals, but George isn't getting any younger either. At some point, and as Mitch said, he does like it when George is alongside him in the dugout to bounce off of. So that's, at a point, it's probably got to happen. What I do like is they've got a lot of young players that are now playing first team football.
Yeah.
Whereas if they'd have stayed at the likes of maybe Worthing, carried on through the under-19s, they may not have got as many games as well. It's similar for Bognor as well. Got a lot of young players, and they need to get out and play first team football, whether it's at step 4, it's at step 3, or at step 5. You're just not going to learn anything if you hang around and wait for an opportunity that may never come. Get out and play your games and then go back up, because there's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if the start continues for Littlehampton as well. There'll be a lot of people looking at those young players.
Yeah.
And wondering, shall I take them now, see if I can do it, or do I watch them over the course of a season and then take them in the summer? So a different direction in recruitment, I'd say, for them. And hopefully it pays dividends and they're at the right end of the table rather than the wrong end as well. The only thing that was slightly disappointing on Sunday, beautiful day as well. The crowd was under 300. I know they weren't attractive opposition, but the fact that no one else was playing around on Sunday, I wouldn't expect him to get 500 or 600 or whatever, but I still expected to be around about 350. So I think it was just slightly disappointing. I think.
Do you reckon that's because it was a Sunday game?
I don't know. I mean, I went Saturday and it was cold where I was. I had my hoodie on all day. Sunday afternoon, I didn't even take my hoodie out of the car because it was such a beautiful day to be watching football. And again, it's a bonus day. That's how I always look at it, because you go and watch your football on a Saturday. If you've got Sunday,
yeah, but if you get the misses, don't they? The IKEAs, the B&Ms, the Range, Tesco's. Do you know what I mean?
Barbecues.
Oh,
I mean,
it's a nightmare.
But against Ascot the week before, they got 337. So,
that's what I mean. Is it's a bit fluctuated a little bit, but they've got a couple more Sunday games coming up as well before the cricket season ends. So we'll keep an eye on whether people actually go, you know what, ain't gonna be many more Sunday games. I'll get in and have a watch as well. And again, when you won 4 from 4, 2 cup games, 2 league games, can't ask for much better than that, can you?
Nah, good on them.
Do we know how long Littlehampton are going to be playing games on a Sunday? Is that just while the cricket's going on?
While the cricket's on, so it's about the first or second weekend of September. So it depends on, I think, if they get through in the next round of the FA Cup or the Trophy when they play that will be the last Sunday game I think they've got. So yeah, okay. It's not long.
So what happens to Zion then?
What do you mean,
does he play for East Preston or does he play for Littlehampton?
He can play for thingy. What in terms of what on a Saturday?
Well, in terms of he can play the way it's working at the moment, he can play on a Saturday for East Preston and he can play on a Sunday for Littlehampton. But
if Mitch wants him, surely he plays at a higher level.
Technically, yes, but
he's not under contract, is he?
No, but he's not. He's not Littlehampton's player. His parent club is East Preston.
East Preston.
So,
Well, I suppose.
Oh, it could depend. He's paying him the more money. I don't know. Could very well depend on where he's scoring the more goals. He's scoring at step 4.
He's definitely good enough for that step. 100%.
He's very good at recovering from an injury as well, isn't he?
You'll say, or it depends where his shoulder is.
Well, he's nicely strapped up on that Wednesday, though, wasn't he?
He was.
Fair play to him to getting up and play with it. The only thing
someone's just messaged me what he gets, and I'm not saying it on here, but I tell you what.
The only thing I would say with Zion is when you watch him play and you watch the amount of football I do, he needs some good coaching, because there's times when the amount of times he got caught offside as well. Now, as a striker at that level, you should be watching the line, you should be reading the line, you should know exactly where your toe is. And from my opinion, and again, that's because of the amount of games and places that I watch, he needs a little bit more honing, I think. And then you probably get 30, 40 goals out of him, maybe even Joe Ben numbers. I don't know. He's got potential, he knows where the net is.
But then that coaching from someone like George Gaskin, who has had the career he's had, could prove the word that my brain's fried today. It could prove fruitful. There you go. We'll go with that one.
Oh, we got there.
That just what you're saying, Trev. Though we had someone who saw him score a hat trick at Ringmer the other day. We were talking. Me and Gaz were talking to him last night. He said exactly the same thing. To be fair, he said his first touch isn't all that, but if you give him a second one, he'll absolutely punish you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's an animal. I think he's brilliant.
Huh?
I'm not doubting that.
He's very good, very good as a goal scorer, very good. But you've got to add a bit more to your game, than just that. Because if you're in a game where the goals aren't going to come, but you can be that little bit cleverer, that someone else gets a goal, wins you the game. That's what you've got to be these days. That's what a lot of managers will look for as well. It's not just your ability to find the back of the net. It's what else can you bring to the rest of the team as well.
Well, he's already got 5 goals, hasn't he? And he's, I know he have been struggling, but he looks like he's doing his bit. So we'll see.
So far. Right then, Southern Combination Premier Division time. No league games last weekend, but 2 Peter Bentley Cup ties, which finished Haywards Heath Town 1, Roffey 2, and Wick 1, Pagan 1, 4-3 on penalties. On Monday night, 2 lots of Monday night football. Guernsey won 1-0 at AFC Vardinians, and Forest Row beat Shoreham by 2-1. Then on Tuesday evening, Crawley Down, Gatwick and Eastbourne United shared a 1-1 draw. Little Common lost 3-1 at home to New Haven. Roffey and Pagan was abandoned due to floodlight failure. Seaford Town and Lingfield drew 2-2. Haywards Heath Town won 1-0 at Wick. Horsham YM won 3-0 at Midhurst and Eastbourne. Steyning beat Lancing by 4-3. And Peacehaven and Telscombe lost 2-1 at home to Bexhill. This weekend, there's one game on Saturday, which is Midhurst and Eastbourne against AFC Vardinians. Then on Monday, and these are all 11 a.m. kickoffs, Bexhill United against Seaford Town, which I believe is at Eastbourne Town.
Correct.
Eastbourne United versus Little Common. Haywards Heath Town versus Roffey. Horsham YM versus Steyning Town. Lancing against Midhurst and Eastbourne. Lingfield versus Forest Row, which is at Steyning Town. Pagham are at home to Wick. Shoreham host Peacehaven and Telscombe, and Crawley Down Gatwick make the flight to Guernsey for a 2 p.m. kickoff. Then on Tuesday evening, New Haven host AFC Vardinians, which FA full-time was telling me was a 7:30 kickoff, but I believe it's 7:45, but get it for 7:30 just in case. Right, we've got 4 clubs with 100% records so far. Haywards Heath, Forest Row, Guernsey, and Horsham YM. Anyone standing out more than the others from those 4?
Well, can I start? Is that all right?
Yes, that's why I said Michael.
Firstly, Horsham YMCA on Monday, they've got a Kids Go Free Family Fun Day as well.
They have.
In their game, and it's football for a £5. Shout out to Gilesy, Gaffer Gilesy there. So Kids Go Free. There's live music, DJ, bouncy castle, beat the goalie, all that lot, just to raise few extra quid and get a bit of community vibe down there. They're doing some good things down there, YM, with the community in there. But so there's that. But look, we've got 4 teams, haven't we? 4 teams at the top. I did say to people pre-season when I went down and saw them, don't sleep on YM. Notice I'm not saying the CA no more after it, by the way.
Well, you did in the first bit, but never mind. We'll gloss over that.
Right, so look, don't sleep on him. He's recruited well, and he's and they're clicking. I saw one of their goals I think it was last night or the night before. It was like a 10-pass interchanging Sponduli in and around on the tack type manoeuvre. It looked like it was like something out of Barcelona. It was brilliant, but at the same time though, Forest Row. Did we expect them to be up there? 3 out of 3? Possibly not. But they've recruited well. They've kept their key players. Grant's doing a cracking job up there. Guernsey. I didn't know enough about them. And that they seem to be getting...
They're flying, though. They're flying.
Yeah. Well, they seem to be flying every other week, don't they?
They have to. They're an island.
And then you've got, obviously, the Big Heath, Haywards Heath up there, who... obviously had a cracking start in it, scoring 9 goals, letting in 1, 3 out of 3. Hey, this is going to be one hell of a season, I think, with them lot.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think even down to there's 7 teams that are unbeaten. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's 3 teams that have won. I think it's a strong start to everyone. But again, it's only 3 games. But there's a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Chance picking up 6 points as well over the course of the bank holiday weekend as well. Could also the course of much of a table by next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it goes right. Southern Combination Division 1. If I'm right, they had no games last weekend. They must have played last weekend, didn't they? Someone find me the results because I'm stuck. I'm on my little list today. I'm tired.
Okay, fine.
I've got it in front of me. You can go if you want, Chris. You did it.
Right, well, Uckfield, AFC Uckfield Town drew at home with Walcountians 0-0. Billingshurst 3, Oakwood 3. Infinity beat Marlow by goal to 0. Jarvis Brook held 1-2-0 at home to Dorking B. Loxwood beat Copthorne 4-2. It was Reigate Priory 2, Arundel 3. Arundel. It was 3-3 between AFC Ringmer AFC and East Preston. Saltdean United 2, Godalming Town 3. And Worthing United beat Selsey 1-0. Then on Tuesday, have you got Tuesdays, Trev?
No, you carry on.
Walcountians 1, Copthorne 0. Arundel beat Selsey 4-2. Infinity drew 3-3 with Billingshurst. Another 3-3 draw for Billingshurst there. Loxwood beat East Preston by a goal to 0. It was Oakwood 2, Dorking B 0. Ringmer AFC 0, Jarvis Brook 2. And Saltdean 1, Worthing United 3.
Did anyone see that goal?
Yes.
That Worthing United goal with the keeper.
Was it Gareth Gale scored it?
Yeah, I think it's their second or third goal.
I hate watching VO stuff, and I eventually had to turn it on its flipping side so I'd actually see what was going on.
Yeah, but they struck the ball, it went over the keeper's head. He thought it went over. He was hanging, the Saltdean keeper was hanging on the park for like 3-4 seconds, thinking it went over, and it was in the net. And that was a couple of lads I said look out for Worthing United scoring the goals. Danny Kingston, Ethan Roberts. That young 18-year-old lad, he's going to be a star, that boy, I tell you.
And Force 3 Gale, by the sounds of it, as well.
He's going to be a star, both of them.
Right, fixture-wise, there are no fixtures on Saturday because everyone's in the FA Vars or they've not got a game. So on Monday, and again, these are 11 a.m. kickoffs, it's AFC Uckfield Town against Ringmer AFC. East Preston hosts Billingshurst. Copthorne travel to Godalming Town, as Mo said earlier. Infinity are at home to Arundel. Worthing United head to Jarvis Brook. Myloke are at home to Saltdean. Oakwood host AFC Walcountians. And Selsey are at home to Loxwood. Then on Tuesday evening, it's Dorking Wanderers B against Reigate. What?
I've got 3 games on Saturday.
3 games on Saturday?
Yeah,
I'm just having a look now.
So, as
yeah,
far
there
as
is.
What I looked this morning,
Div 1
Billingshurst. Eh?
Div 1 Cup? No.
Billingshurst are at home to Jarvis Brook. Dorking Wanderers B are at home to Uckfield. And Reigate Priory host Infinity.
There you go. I haven't had a chance to check FA full time and change it around because they weren't there originally. So there we go. Excellent.
Yeah,
right, Chris and Gaz, you were at Ringmer against Jarvis Brook last night. Jarvis Brook 100% record so far this year after stepping up. How was your game?
It was a good game. 2 teams that both want to play football the right way. Jarvis Brook, look, it's early, but they're top of the league, and they're top of the league for a reason. They play some really good football. I think Chris hit the nail on the head. They're really good in the transitions. The way they move that ball around. Both teams moved the ball around really well. I think Ringmer were lacking in sort of the final third, I think, last night. And they had their centre forward, Fenner, I think it is, had a little bit of a groin niggle. So he was on the bench. They didn't really get a chance to get him on. I think it might have been a different game if they had that sort of player up the top. But no, look, credit to Jarvis Brook. They were a very, very good side. And I think Mike said it, but I can't judge until I've seen it. But as I think I mentioned it last week, what I do like is all 3 teams that have come up from Step 7 in this year are holding their own. And I think all 3 teams will be well all right this season. Ringmer Ringmer will push. I think come the end of the season, they'll gel, they'll get their players back, and I think they'll be all right. So
Yeah,
I've got no doubt that Ringmer will be fine. No,
Jarvis Brook, I think Jarvis Brook. I'm going to change. I'm going to stick them in the playoffs this year. Seeing them last night.
No, you can't make predictions from the beginning of the season. They're laminated, mate. Chris?
I'll just say, like, I mean, the game, it was early doors. It was 50-50. I think, like I said, like Gaz said on my behalf, like, yeah, whenever Ringmer lost the ball and Jarvis Brook looked like they'd score every time. Give credit to the keeper, actually, from Ringmer, Dela Cruz. I thought he had a good game despite the scoreline. And then the second half, it got very bitty. A lot of fouls. I think the ref, don't want to slag him off too much, but I think there was a red card incident. I didn't see it properly, so I'm not going to say he got that wrong, but there was a lot of fouls, and I think he just lost control of the game a little bit. But yeah, the telling thing for me on Jarvis Brook, they've got an acid test, I think, on Monday. They host Worthing United, which
that'll
I think
be a tough game.
That's going to be, I think that'll be a bit of a bellwether, actually, for how they both go. But Worthing United are unbeaten as well. I think that's going to be a cracking fixture.
Yeah, great. What's your attendance last night?
148.
148. It's not bad. How was the programme?
It was all good. It was all right, but there was one little pants bit in there by someone called Trevor Nell. He wrote, it's really, I mean, I didn't read it. I'll read it when I go to bed tonight, so I fall asleep. I'm joking. The programme is very, very good. Shout out to Will. I can't say his last name, but shout out to Will. Hugel. Very, very, very well put together programme.
It's brilliant.
At least you managed to make it on Tuesday anyway, unlike last Saturday. So at least you got to read one programme, if not two.
Yep.
And you can have a third one this weekend as well. So thank you very much, Ringmer, though, for getting in touch and grabbing a column. I've had another Sussex club as well contact me yesterday while I was up at Swindon. So I could have another one as well on the horizon. So there's plenty more for you to read, eh? There we go.
Yeah.
And I want to shout out Billingshurst as well. 10 goals scored, 10 goals conceded. And if I'm right, it's a 4-4 draw, a 3-3 draw, and a 3-3 draw. So if you want goals, go and watch Billingshurst this season.
Value. Love that.
And funny enough, they've got Jarvis Brook at the weekend.
7-6, anyone?
Yep, that should be good fun. I just want to just quickly on Ringmer, just to give them a shout out. Thank you for their hospitality last night. Really friendly club. Everyone there was great. Tommy came over and said hello as well, which surprised he remembers who I am, but fair play. No, it's just a really, really good club, and I think they're going places.
Yeah, I agree. Good club, good setup behind the scenes, that one.
Right, fixtures for Step 7 this weekend. In Southern Combination Division 2, it's Alfold against Chichester City B, ASC Brighton Rangers against Upper Beeding, it's Capel against Rudgwick, Ferring against Worthing Town, Howsham against Botham, Southwards against Brighton Electricity, and TD Shipley against Rustington. Then on Monday, and again, these are all 11 a.m. kickoffs, Alfold hosts Rudgwick, Botham are at home to Chichester City B, Capel against Southwater, Howsham Town against ASC Brighton Rangers, Rustington against Ferring, Stonington versus Worthing Town, and TD Shipley versus Upper Beeding. In the Mid-Sussex Premier, these are 2 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday. It's French's Athletic against Hollington United, Holland Sports against Linfield, Punnets Town versus Reigate Priory Seconds, Rotherfield against Polegate Town, Shoreham Seconds against Cuckfield Rangers, Westfield are at home to Balcombe, and Crowhurst against Battletown is apparently a 3 p.m. kickoff for some bizarre reason. There we go. Right, that's all those rounded up. Team of the week, which we've picked this week.
You picked it, have you? See?
Yeah.
See, yeah, just to show that I don't get no say in this. Didn't even know you picked.
You didn't last season. Anyway.
No, exactly, but everyone thought I did.
Let me explain as well, because I know last week listening, because I listened back to the pod last week and I was on my way out to Cray Wanderers, and there's a little bit of confusion or uncertainty as to why we weren't picking a certain point of the week for it. And I'll explain the reason why, and I did mention it earlier, is we have an extra Saturday in August this year. So 5 into 4 doesn't go. Also, I wasn't very organised the very first week, which was FA Cup week, when we could have had 1 week on its own. But the way we've actually made it work is we could have ended up with a 1 Saturday and then 2 2s, and then we're picking performances from 3 sets of match days. So the way Gaz and I have managed to work it, going through the calendar, is with the Tuesdays and the Saturdays, we've managed to make it 2 2 2 all the way through, which then means everyone's got more of an equal opportunity of actually winning the flipping thing, which is what we're trying to do with it. We're not trying to make it out that it's going to go to such and such or so and so or whatever. It's so everyone's got an equal opportunity to try and get their hands on it, which was 56 clubs last week. It's about 80 this year. So that's how it is. So this week, as our team of the week, we had how many? Probably about five choices, Gaz.
No, I think there was only 3 in the end. Well, there was the FA Cup guys. I think we went for.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we plumped for Stenning Town this week. Coming from behind, they've knocked out a team from a division higher. No one else managed that in the FA Cup for a start. I think that's fair play in front of a decent crowd as well. I think they had 263 last night against Lancing. Had they not gone through, probably would have been somebody else. But that's an FA Cup giant killing in effect. Step 5 knocks out step 4. So
fair one.
Congratulations.
Can I ask who else was in the running then, please?
Not without going for our WhatsApp conversation. Possibly Jarvis Brook.
Got to have been Jarvis Brook, surely.
Who else?
Oh, mate, we spent.
I can't remember. I don't know. I've had 2 late nights and seen Barnet win a football match since then. So
that sounds like bullshit.
Exactly.
It was LA, Burgess Hill, Jarvis Brook.
Again, that's all based on their league games. Again, cup games only come around once in a while. Another opportunity next week, and another one the week after as well. So go out and win your games. It's that simple.
And it's not just winning 4-3 at home. It was the fact that they came from 2-0 down and 3-1 down to do so.
That's in next week's, Chris. As you walked away, you didn't hear everything I said, but never mind.
Sorry, you spot on. No, I kind of could, but yeah, my bad.
There we go. So Stenning Town, the winners of this week's Team of the Week. 2 more opportunities for your club to win it, and then it goes to the X/Twitter community to pick the winner.
Just point out, Harry Heath, 2 absolute screamers in the week.
Cross or shot?
Well, if you ask what I put on the Instagram and the TikTok is, it was a great shot and a great goal, the first one.
Yeah, Puskas award winning.
Yeah. But no, I did see his goal on Saturday, and that was a shot. That wasn't a cross. The first one, probably was a cross, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Right, Gaz, burger review time. Where you gone? Who's it from?
It's from Ringmer.
I expect it to be quite decent then.
Yeah, so I did my research. It's not an entry-level bun, right? It might look like an entry-level bun because it's a seeded sesame seed bun, but it's a sesame seed brioche bun, right? Grated cheddar, no burger slices, and a shout out because they're another club who use a local butchers, so they use Lou Howard's butchers in Ringmer for their 4 ounce and their 6 ounce. I went for the 6 ounce gourmet. I didn't go for a double last night.
Shock.
Yeah, really is a shock. Look, the burger was £7.20 for a 6 ounce, including the bacon. I think I paid £7.50 at Eastbourne. At Stenning, sorry, for the double.
Does that come with chips?
No, but I don't mind paying it. It's not. I don't think it's expensive when you consider they're buying quality produce. Like
no, I get it, and I've tasted them, and I know they're quality.
And you can buy a bottle of champagne from Lidl, but you can buy a bottle of Dom Perignon, and it'll be better, right? And you guess what happens? Like you can buy
it all grown in the same region, the Champagne region.
Well, yeah, burgers all come from cows.
Fair one.
What? They're all from the Isle of Wight.
Look, I scored them very highly last year. That's complete. I'm going to completely wipe all of last year's scores. In my opinion, they just miss out on Stenning, and I can't. I think only just. It's sort of like a 9.3, a 9.4. I think Stenning's 9.5, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you. Oh, these burgers must have been Michelin star, lad.
Mate,
Do you know what I mean?
no, I don't. I don't think. I think I'm right. Basically, I'm the food guy. I'm right. Look, I said to Lee a little bit earlier in the comments. Unfortunately, Lee, your opinion doesn't matter when it comes to burgers.
I thought you said onions, not opinions.
No, it does. There's a P in there somewhere. Yeah, there's a P in there somewhere. Look, I'm going to go 9.4. For me, they just miss out. And I will put it, and it's a great test with them, because up until I really went and had a Stenning one, I would put it almost on a par with Horsham. And I would put it on a par with Horsham, because it's quality meat, quality bun. I don't know, there was just something a little bit missing for me. Mike, what are you laughing at? Come on.
I just 9.5 first week. 9.4.
No, it wasn't first week. No, it wasn't first week. Chris, who was first week, mate?
Seaford Town, 6.5.
There you go.
Oh,
above average.
That was funny enough. I was there with you.
Yeah.
I thought that was nice. But I'm just saying,
above average.
Okay, I can't wait for you to find a shitty 1-star one. I really can't.
But do you know what? I could almost bank on that being Wick. But now they've got their new food truck in there. I can't. I'll openly look. I spoke to I can't remember what his name is. You were there, Trev. We spoke to someone at Littlehampton. Matt Lander. Spoke to Matt Lander, right? And last season, last season, and he was like, "Mate, our burgers aren't very good. He'd probably give us a 1." He said it to me, and he did say that. So I would have said Wick up until
They got
a few weeks ago, but now they've got Cox in, or the guys that used to own Cox.
Well, I had a little burger at the weekend though. I had a little burger. I had a lovely 8 out of 10 burger at the weekend. Do you know what they stuck in it though? Little cheeky dairy slice.
Yeah, dairy slice is a good one. Yeah.
I take it, mate. I take it.
Did you make that burger yourself?
No, it was at Storrington. They did it on the old barbecue as well, didn't they?
See, you can't beat an open flame burger.
Oh, mate, it was tidy. I tell you, it wasn't entry level. No. But with a little bit of dairy cheese, cooked onions on there, lovely quarter pounder. I'll take it.
Yeah. Go on, Chris.
Mike's going all Ainsley Harriet there. I was just you said at Ringwood the other night you don't give 10s, so you're the lucky.
No, I give 10s to my burgers.
Okay,
my burgers are the best.
No bias. So when there's no bias involved, you don't give 10s, but you've given Stenning 9.5. So I find this whole decimalisation quite interesting.
And that's because you're into stats and figures and that sort of thing. But I can't just go 9 out of 10 because look. I know
at this point now, because
again,
it's like pole vaulting now, because you've not given yourself a great deal of room above Stenning, have you?
Be 9.7865 soon.
No, that's because I need to be like I need to be wowed for it to be like. Do you know what? So far, I've done 3 that I kind of know. When I get Mo was very mysterious about the burger at Godalming.
Maybe he's thinking he needs to up his game before you get there.
Well, look, if there's one thing that I can get out of this, other than people like arguing, people from Hendon arguing on my Twitter post that boosted me from like something like 400 views to nearly 7,500 in 24 hours on a little post about a burger at Stenning. Because I didn't put the price on there. If they'd looked in the comments, the price was there for them to see. I'm not even joking. It was hilarious. But look, burgers, football is food at the football is a really good way of adding incremental revenue to your match day experience, right? And if you do it right, like Ringmer, like Stenning,
Horsham.
like your Horshams. It's a really good way of people will pay that. I would pay £11.50 for a burger and chips at the football if it's a quality burger and it tastes nice. I paid it last night. I paid it at Stenning. No, you can pull that face, but I get a better burger sometimes at the football than I do at the local kebab shop, and the local kebab shop charged me £9 for it.
I'm only saying that because I'm a champion of getting a good value deal for the buyers, the customers at the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I understand.
Also,
I understand. But
I know how much it can. I know how much it will cost for someone to do a burger. They can go to Booker and get a burger. I know roughly how much it's going to cost. Like I sell them probably £42 for 48 burgers. They're 80, 90, 95% meat, 100%. They're all 100% meat, but 100% beef and that sort of thing. And I know that you can get a brioche bun for about 40p. So I know how much it costs, right? So I don't mind paying if someone like has gone to a butcher's and spent £2 on a burger, on a patty, and they're going to put that out. I'll happily pay it because I know that that's going to be better than what I get at a kebab shop, which I already pay £8 for when I've had a couple of tins of Heine. You know,
no one drinks Heineken, mate.
I do, but I do the little stubby cans. You drink the big ones. It's some little tiny ones. Heine and a tiny. Look, yeah, well done, Ringmer. 9.4. There's someone out there that I haven't been to is gonna absolutely throw
I've
spanner
got
in
to
the
see it.
works.
1 star, 2 star. Just got to see it. I've got to see it. And if you do,
I'm sure there will be one. The problem
I
is,
want you to name and shame and put the picture of it up.
I'll take a picture of all of them. There'll be a picture going up of the burger. Like I sent it to Trev earlier. It's a very, very good burger. Like I had the gourmet burger. I could probably have had a double, but I'm on the old jabby jabs and trying to lose weight. So
I reckon you'll get a gig out of this, mate. I reckon you'll get some kind of food gig out of this.
Well, not if I keep getting abuse about my ratings from you guys. But no, Lee gave the Stellenberger an 8 out of 10. But then I also rated a Shorenberger once, and I saw Lee give it like a 2 out of 10. So I'm gonna let him just have that one. You stick, Lee. You stick to the match day vlogs. I'll stick to giving the burger reviews.
Leave my mate alone.
The gloves are off. Right. Wanted to mention match reports this evening because we've had a lot of interaction from Bexhill United so far this season.
Good club.
And I've also received another one from Kevin Gargini, who I've not heard from a little while. So I got one in from him this evening, which is actually from Step 7 as well, which is really good. But get your stuff into us. Doesn't have to be absolutely massive. I can turn a 50 word, 100 word little excerpt you give me into about 250 to 300 words. It's easy to do. Send them in, send your images in with them as well, because that always helps if we've got something else picture wise to put with it, and we'll get them out on the website. If we don't have it, we can't use it. And I know a lot of the newspapers do still provide some of you with some space, but we can provide some space with you every single week. So get them into me, Trevor at the SNLF.co.uk, or any of the other guys. If you want to send them through Twitter, you can. Jeff actually sends them through WhatsApp to me. So however you want to get them in, just get them in and we'll get them out. Helps our obviously people viewing the website as well. The more stuff we've got on there, the more people that read, the more eyes that see it, the more people that know about your club. It's quite a simple thing, really. Right, where's everyone off to next week? There's no point asking you because your diary's never
No, Saturday I'm not, because my mother-in-law's retired after working for Santander for 36 years and we're having a proper piss up. I mean, we're talking like starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and going all day. So
No,
could you not do that on Sunday?
Huh?
Could you not do that on Sunday?
No, because I'm doing a car boot on Monday morning.
A what?
Car boot
Sunday morning, Monday morning. What are you doing? 24 hours?
Monday morning, not Sunday morning.
So
Broadwater Green, if you want to come and find me.
No thanks.
I might just do that.
Yeah, come and do it. Yeah, laugh. Bring me a beer, mate.
You know that.
And then I'm thinking on Monday I might go and chat to our old friend Ryan Gaylor and go and do Whitehawk versus Dulwich. on Monday evening, 7:45.
It's not a 7:45. Sorry, no, it's 3.
Chris, what are you doing to me? When is it? What?
It'll be 3-ish. I imagine.
Oh, it says 7:45 on the pack that Mr. Statman's given us.
Yeah, that's my bad. It's because it's a Monday. It's basically because it's not a Saturday. It's my bad.
No, that's all right. I will. Don't worry. I'll try and get to that. We'll see what time the thingy finishes.
Right, so Gaz is going nowhere. Mike, you're at Nap Hill on Saturday. Anywhere Monday?
Monday. Is that
IKEA with his missus.
Yeah. Is that bank holiday? Probably be on the piss somewhere. Yeah, without a doubt. I haven't got to be fair.
You've got no brownie points, have you?
No, she don't really know I'm going Saturday yet.
How far away from you is she sat?
No, I live in a 3-story house, right? We're downstairs, ground level, ground zero. She's up top. And, she doesn't actually know I'm going yet. And even worse than that, allegedly, and I must say...
Jimmy Cricket, isn't it? Come here this morning.
And I say allegedly, the bar at Shoreham is going to be open at like 9 or 10 in the morning. She's going to be... Yes.
I hope she's not missing
this time.
No. So, I don't know about Monday yet, but I'll get back to you depending on how Saturday to Sunday goes.
Yeah, mate, there's just been a comment in there from your wife saying, Mike, that's not happening.
Yeah. You're going to a car boot fair on Monday morning. Chris?
Right, so Saturday it will be Beckenham at home for me. Beckenham are coming to the Saffrons, so I'll be hitting a bar at lunchtime to watch the lunchtime kickoff. I'm sure there's some Mancunian team involved, and then I'll go to that. And then on the bank holiday Monday, I'm off to the Beacon, yet again following Eastbourne Town, but to see Hassocks as well. So see my
cool
friends down at Hassocks, so that'll be a good game. It's that, yeah. Hopefully we don't end Monday with 0 points on the board still.
Fair enough.
Where are you going?
Don't know. Saturday somewhere in the Vars, but I haven't decided where yet.
Mate, you can't give me abuse for not knowing where I'm going and then go, I don't know where I'm going.
You're not going anywhere. I'm going somewhere. Trev won, as nil. And we'll trump that because Monday I'm going to try and get 2 games in. So that'll be Trev 3, Gaz nil. What a weekend for you. So choices Monday are Pagham and Wick, followed by Chichester and Welling United. Or Haywards Heath versus Roffey, followed by Hassocks versus Eastbourne Town.
That got a bit tasty, that last Haywards Heath Roffey game and all, didn't it?
Yeah, because I was there for that one, yeah. So
all good teams. Then again, Pagham Wick will be a good one.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, should be. And Chichester Welling would be good as well because Welling haven't started at all well in the Premier Division. So and Chai obviously I think are unbeaten, aren't they? 1 win and 2 draws. So it'll be something like that. Either way, I'm trumping Gaz, so that's good enough for me as it goes.
I've got 100% record on it this season. How's yours
100%
going?
record on what?
On the podcast this season. How's yours going?
And
3-1.
It's all right. I'm gonna have another cough in a couple of weeks' time anyway. So
right, lads, play nicely, yeah.
You can have
play
another. This is nicely. You can follow us on X at the SNLF and on Facebook at the SNLF.co.uk. Gaz, TikTok and Instagram.
The SNLF.co.uk. I'm 6 away from 700 on TikTok. Come on, guys, give us a follow. I've got 694 followers. I want to get to 1,000 by the end of September. I'll give myself a few weeks. And TikTok and Instagram, please follow us because we want to stream this live on Instagram, but we can't until we get to 1,000 followers. We're currently stuck at 553. So it's going up slowly. We're about over halfway. We're just give us a follow. Like I post everything on there. Like we've had 60, just over 60,000 views in the last 30 days.
You don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing. Get on there. You don't know what you're missing, guys.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
You're never going to get people to follow by going, please.
It's not just burgers either. It's not just burgers.
And
There's no burgers on there.
And you know mine, Dugout Diaries one. You know, it's simple.
Simple. Right, that's it for episode 39. We've got everyone in a bit of a tiz-was at the beginning with it's 39. Is it season 2? Is it 38? I'll make the rules, not you. Just enjoy listening to it and share it around everywhere. Simple as that. So until next week and episode 40, when Gaz is back in the chair, you can have fun with that. Enjoy your football at the weekend.
Cheers, everyone, for the support as always. Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Again tonight.
Everyone. Cheers.